We're going to start seated today. So just come to the top of your mat into a comfortable seat. Whatever that means for you. You can be cross-legged or sitting back onto your heels. Bring your hands to your knees and just start to take a few deep breaths. Just arriving into the space. Try to make your inhales and your exhales of equal length. Take one more breath. Then you can start to open up the eyes. We're going to warm up the neck a little bit first. So just start to make big neck circles. Going nice and slow. Hold anywhere that feels like you need to create a little extra space there, anywhere that feels particularly sticky. Go a couple times in one direction, then switch, or a couple of Start to bring your head back into neutral. Look all the way left. Come through center, bring the head all the way right. Go a few more times like this, just alternating back and forth. One more time each way. Now let's inhale, lift the arms up overhead, look up. Stretch through the fingertips. And then bring the fingertips forward, lean forward over your legs. You can bring your feet together into butterfly if that feels better on your hips. And take a breath here. You can keep a nice straight spine if that feels good, or you can round the back over your feet. Start to make your way back up into a neutral spine. Kick both feet out long. Give the legs a bit of a shake. Tent the fingertips behind you. Make a really straight spine here. You can look up if that feels okay in your neck. Gentle back bend. And then start to make your way back to neutral. From here, we're going to bend this left knee, kick it back behind you, bend the right, so we're ending up in this 90-90 position with our legs. You can bring the hands back behind you or up into heart center. We're just going to move back and forth with the legs. Let the back knee lead this motion. And just go back and forth a few times. It'll kind of wiggle you forward on your mat, but this is just warming up the hips, getting in some mobilization. One more time. And then take both legs out long. So we're getting into the adductors here, which is an area that we don't normally stretch. So this is probably going to be super, super tight. So this could be all your poses right now. Bring your fingertips as far forward as you want for today, as much sensation as you're looking for. And then just lean forward any amount. If you want a little bit more intensity in hips, you can flex the feet, point the toes up to the ceiling, and then just rock the feet back and forth. Start to come back up into neutral. Bring the hands on either side of the right leg. Just twist, use the core towards that right leg, and then lean forward, getting into the right hamstring. Start to walk the hands through center, over to the left leg. Hands go on either side of the left leg, just lean forward. And then start to come back into center. Bring the left foot in. Place the right hand on the inside of the right leg. Inhale the left arm up and over. Stretch out through the side body. And then we're going to start to switch. So bring the spine back up into center. Take the left foot all the way out. Bring the right foot in. Left hand comes to the inside of the left leg. Inhale the right arm up. Reach with the fingertips. Stretch all the way out through the side. And then start to loop that arm back down. Bring the left foot in, so we're back in our cross-legged position. Now you're just going to roll over the ankles, make your way into your tabletop. Tuck the toes under, press back, stretch out the feet for a second. Take a breath. And then rock forward, untuck the toes. Just tap the tops of the feet on the mat. Roll around the ankles a few times. And then place the feet back down. Let's move through our cat-cow. So on the inhale, chin comes up at the tailbone, look up. Exhale, round the back, push it towards the ceiling. 2 more times like this. Last one. And then start to make your way back into neutral. From here, let's flex the right foot, take it all the way out behind you. Once you feel really solid here, pick up the left hand, take it all the way out, so we're coming into this bird dog position. The back of the neck is long, you're looking down at your mat. Hold here, feel the core. And on your next breath in, crunch everything in, bring the elbow and the knee together. Exhale, take it back out long. Let's do this 2 more times. Inhale, bring everything into center, and exhale, extend. 1 more. Extend out long. Bring the left hand down. Bring the right knee down. Just start to push the ribs out a few times from side to side. Start to make your way back into a neutral spine. Flex the left foot, take it back behind you. Follow it by the right hand, reach it out. Take a breath here as you get settled. Then your next inhale, bring the elbow and knee together, center, and then extend long on the exhale. 2 more. Last one, come in and back out. Bring the right hand down and the left knee. Bring the hands just slightly in front of the knees together and just start to drop your hips a few times from side to side, just alternating back and forth. Come back into center, bring your hands and your knees back until you're in your tabletop. We're going to do a few big rotations with the knee, getting into the hips. Flex the right foot again, take it up into the sky. Take the knee out to the side, up and in. Do 1 more like that. And then switch directions, go 2 times the other way. Trying to keep the hips square to the mat. Bring the right knee back down. Let's do the other side. Pick up the left foot. Take that left knee out and up and in. 1 more time. And then switch directions. Bring the left knee down. Start to bring the knees a little bit farther behind you. We're going to come down onto the elbows. So we're doing a plank from the elbows and the knees. So just hold here, take a breath. You can come up and out of the shoulders a few times if you want a bit more shoulder work. Otherwise, this will be a lot in the core. Take a couple more breaths. Feel it really starting to work. And then push back from the hips and the hands, sink all the way down into your child's pose. Take a breath. Bring the forehead down. Your hands can be all the way out in front, but it can be passive, so just let your arms hang down. Start to bring the arms into center, bring the knees together. So the elbows are touching the knees. We're in this little ball. On your next inhale, lift the left arm all the way up, twisting into the upper spine. Exhale, bring it back down. Inhale, bring it up. Look towards that left hand. Last one, inhale, come up. And then exhale down. Replace the right arm with the left. And on your inhale, take the right hand up. 2 more times on this side. Last one. And then bring the right arm down. Extend the hands again. Bring the knees wide, forehead down, child's pose. Lift up into your tabletop on your next breath. Tuck the toes under. We're going to make our way into our first downward dog. So keep a really big bend at the knees until you feel like you can start waking up the hamstrings a little. Pedal out the feet, stretch out the calves. Make any movements that you feel like you need. Let's come up onto the toes. So you're going to shift forward a little bit and then bring the heels back down. Just maybe a little closer to the mat. Once you feel like you've gotten all the movement out that you need to, take a big breath. Start to tiptoe the feet to the top of the mat. Between your hands, fold all the way forward. Let the head be heavy. Shake it yes and no. And then roll the spine up to stand on your next inhale. Take a big exhale when you get to the top. Inhale, reach the arms overhead, look up. And exhale, bring the hands into heart center. Heel toe the feet just a little closer together. We're going to sit the hips back, come into chair pose. So turning on the glutes here a little bit. Sitting back, the weight is more in your heels. From here, with your hands in this heart center position, just try to bring the left elbow to the right knee. You don't need to cross it all the way over, just as far as your core will let you twist. Try to keep a straight spine, twisting towards the right. Take another breath here. And then release, come back into center, fold all the way forward. On your next inhale, bring your fingertips to your shins, make a flat spine, come up halfway. And release on the exhale, bring the hands to the mat. Take the right leg all the way back behind you. Bring the knee down, untuck the toes. Arms come overhead. You can bring your hands together if that feels good, or apart. We're leaning forward in this low lunge, getting into the right hip. One more breath here. Start to bring the hands back down to the mat, frame the left foot, pick up the back knee. Left foot goes beside the right, so you're in plank. And then bring the knees down, lower all the way to the front of the body. Hands come slightly out in front. On your next inhale, roll the shoulders up, back and down for cobra. Then release on the exhale. Inhale, come back up. If you want to add in your upper spine twist, you can bring the left shoulder down, look over the right. If not, staying in center is awesome. Come back down on the exhale. Inhale, come up, roll the shoulders back. If you're twisting, right shoulder comes down, look over the left. Back into center and release on the exhale. Take a breath here. And then start to bring the hands under the shoulders, lift back up through your tabletop position into downward facing dog, pedal out the feet. Lift up onto the toes, rock forward, and then come back down. Try to reach your heels just a little bit more towards the mat. Walk the feet up to the top between your hands, fold forward. And then inhale, lift up to stand, exhale at the top. Inhale, bring the arms up overhead, look up. Exhale, bring the hands into heart center. Heel toe the feet a little closer together. Sink the hips back, come into your chair pose. Take a breath here. And then using your core, start to twist towards the left. You can bring elbow to knee. If that helps you feel stable and steady. You want to look down at your knees as well and make sure that one knee is not jutting farther out than the other one. You want your knees to be in the same place. Hold here, take one more breath. And then unravel, come back into center, fold forward. Inhale, bring the hands to the shins, come up halfway. Exhale, bring the hands down, take the left foot all the way back. Bring the knee down, untuck the toes. Lift up the arms into your low lunge. Hands can be together or apart. One more breath here. And then start to place the hands back on the mat. Pick up the back knee. Take the right foot beside the left, hold your plank. And you can bring knees down, move through your cobra, or you can do a chaturanga push-up, upward dog. We'll all meet in our downward facing dog. You can always head straight to downward dog as well and skip the vinyasa part whenever you feel, if you want this to be just a slow, easy feeling practice. Take 2 breaths here when we get to our down dog. And then walk the feet to the top of the mat, fold forward one more time. From here, heel toe your feet to the outer edge of the mat. The toes are pointing off the mat at a 45-degree angle. Reach your fingertips all the way forward, sit the hips down, coming into your Yogi Squat. And if your hands are reaching all the way forward and your back is rounded out, this relieves some of the pressure on your lower back. So take a breath here, or you can bring your hands up into heart center and the elbows push into the knees. And that is another way you can get more into the hips. One more breath. And then just come all the way to seated. Take the legs out in front. Give them a shake. Inhale, bring the arms up overhead. And on the exhale, reach for the toes or the shins, whatever's available to you today. And you can let the back round out. Take a breath here. Start to roll the spine back up into neutral. Bring the feet closer in towards you. Take the arms out in front. Just lean the torso back. Just a little bit more of some gentle core work here. Bring your hands into heart center. So we're back in this kind of V sitting position. And you're just going to twist a little bit more. So twist towards the right. And then come through center and over to the left. You can take your hands out long if you want this to be fingertips touching the ground on either side. Or you can keep your hands in heart center as you go back and forth. Just keep alternating. Try to keep your breath steady. Let's go one more time each way. And then slow and controlled, make your way all the way down to your back. Take your legs out long. Take a breath here. Reach your fingertips up overhead. Give yourself a nice big stretch. And then take your fingertips up into the sky. We're going to do a few slow roll-ups. So without using your arms to kind of jolt you forward, you're just using your core to slowly come all the way up. Touch your toes if you can. And then roll all the way back down as slow as you can. Let's do 2 more like that. Rolling up. And back down, nice and controlled. Last one. Beautiful. Bring the elbows down by your sides. Your fingertips are pointing up towards the ceiling. Bring the feet in as close as you can bring them to you. And then push through the elbows. Let the upper back just come up off the mat. This is all this pose is. Gentle back bend. Take one more breath. And release. Bring the spine back down to your mat. Take the feet to the outer edges. Let your knees come into touch. Start to heel toe the feet back into center. We're going to do one more bridge before we finish our practice today. So reach for your heels, make sure that they're close enough in. And then on your next breath, lift the hips all the way up. Interlace the hands underneath you. Press through the elbows. We'll take 5 more rounds of breath here. A little bit of a challenge before we end our practice and head into the rest of our day. But back bending is so good for your energy levels, for your posture, especially if you're at a desk or in front of your computer for hours at a time. Take 2 more breaths. And release the hands. Start to roll the spine all the way back down. Take the legs out long. And your arms are down by your sides, coming into Shavasana, our final resting pose. If there's anything else you feel like you want to do, go ahead and do that now. If not, just start to come back to neutral breathing. Close down the eyes if that feels okay. And just let the work settle into your body. Take one more deep breath. Inhale through the nose. And exhale through the mouth. Bring your hands up in front of you and just start to rub your palms together. Create some heat and some friction. And then bring your palms just over your eyes. Let the warmth melt and sink down your whole body. When you're ready, you can start to make your way up to seated. Roll to one side, push yourself up. Come back into a comfortable seat. Bring your hands to your knees or up into heart center. Just to close your practice for today, take one more deep breath. Thanks for practicing with me today. Namaste. Hope to see you again really soon.